In this video, I'm going to be speaking about Utopia versus Survival. The human race is set up not for utopia, rather for survival. And that is why survival and the survivalistic instincts of man conflict with utopia. You might say we are punished and detrimental species in our psyche in some aspects for the fact that we are a species that is set up to wish to pursue utopia. We are a species which has a set design of what we view as utopia, and yet we are incapable of creating utopia. And it's quite a tease, so to say, and it is, I think it does generally cause a lot of problems in society that are above the original problem from the survivalistic instincts to begin with. But if we were not set up for survival in the survivalistic instincts of the majority of the time humans have inhabited Earth, we would have never got to this place where we are now to begin with. We had to survive thousands and thousands of years through harsh environments and all kinds of different obstacles to get here in the first place. So survival was number one. Utopia is number two, which is not going to ever happen because we don't have the materials needed to create utopia. And as I said, it's a tease. All of our traits are generally set up for survival. Like, we are set up to judge things. Like, if we see a bear or a tiger, we're set up to judge that. If we see someone do something and they're a certain type of person, we're set up to judge that. We're set up to judge everything in our environment. We had to judge whether a berry was poisonous or good to eat. We had to judge whether an animal would kill us or we could kill it and eat it. And it's survival. We have changed the environment, so survival all of a sudden doesn't seem to register in people's heads. And we tend to think, oh, now it's time for utopia, when it's never going to get there. Our survivalistic traits, instincts, detriment us from ever really achieving or truly achieving utopia. Because if there were the capabilities of utopia or a perfect society, we would have created it a long time ago. And the capabilities and the roots are not there. Part of the reason is because we're in a constantly changing environment, and even if we've changed the environment to suit us, we still are prone to a drought that causes so much less food. We have the environment around us. People's houses are destroyed by tornadoes. We never have a perfectly set world full of no insecurities. And we're never going to have that. It's the world is this, and we have to survive it. Like, that's how it goes. But our human instincts are all there for judgment. For instance, like, a perfect example is sexuality. For society, in our society, we both judge extremely promiscuous people overall, and we judge prude people, which is both a necessary part of society. If society becomes extremely prude, the species dies out. The species becomes overly promiscuous, the species is still at risk of dying out because they are likely to become so promiscuous to the point where they don't even want to survive. They would rather have sex than actually try and feed themselves or to actually try and survive. So that judgment is a balance, and that is there for a reason, as goes for prejudice and racism, why people are judged. And we are set up to manufacture fear and insecurity and different emotions and opinions in our heads in order to best suit the environment. We've changed the environment, but the survivalistic instinct is still there, and we're not going to get rid of that. And it's going to be always there, and it is necessary. I mean, another perfect example is that, like, it is a known fact that overall men prefer females with big boobs and a thin waist, and it's a survivalistic instinct. At the same time, it is true that women who have thin waists and big boobs are the most fertile, most likely to reproduce. It's a survivalistic trait. I mean, same thing goes with the females who like the most muscular guy. They're the ones who are most likely to battle off the threats, and that these are in wires that are there for our survival, and these are still going to be there no matter what. And I mean, another example is we in this world have a lot of opposing opinions. I mean, there's really millions of points of view. I mean, rarely, or even if it's possible for anyone to ever have an identical